So Mr. Johnson's asked me to speak with you guys about a few things that's going on, that are going to be happening on the campus. As many of you guys noticed, about a month or so ago, you started seeing more and more central office employees coming into your classrooms, in the hallways, cafeteria, after school, before school, and you've been asking questions on what that was for. Well, Mr. Johnson's asked me to speak with you guys about that, and we'll go over a few things, let you know what to expect. Basically, central office had concerns about the campus, the number of students we've gotten over the last several months, particularly after COVID. We've seen a huge increase in the numbers for multiple reasons. Basically, central office was coming in, and I'm not going to call it an audit. They were checking to see what changes could be made to help benefit us and the students to be more productive. So that's why they were in the classrooms. I know several of you guys may have panicked a little as they came in the classrooms as you were teaching unexpected. They weren't there checking on you guys as much as they were just watching the culture of the campus and the classroom. They also looked at documents, attendance records, discipline referrals, things of that matter to see what all was going on campus and what they could do to help. One thing they did find out, other than we have huge population right now compared to what we usually have, is the number of OSS on our campus have increased. So they're trying to come up with ways to try to help, like I said, to decrease those number of OSS when dealing with the students. After they came in for about 2 to 3 weeks, they put all their figures together, met with each other at central office, and then they ended up meeting with me, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Woodard, and then the special ed, 2 of the special ed teachers on the campus. And we all sat down, listened to what they had to say and what they noticed on our campus, and tried to start developing some kind of system to put in place to help with the problems we were having. With that being said, they created a new position on our campus, a behavior specialist, which will help with some of the issues. They'll be having small groups, pulling those out with the help of the counselors we have, just to help alleviate some of the numbers in the classrooms, until we can get them back down. Because of that, they're gonna, the number of special education students we have, they're gonna give us another special ed teacher. So that'll bring us up to 3 instead of the 2 we currently have. That's gonna help you guys in the classroom. You'll have an extra set of eyes. They're not there. They're there to work with those kids just like they've always been, but we're gonna have a 3rd person instead of just 2 now. So that's gonna help. We've done a little bit of restructuring. I say we internally have done a little bit of restructuring. If you haven't noticed, with the level system we have, we were utilizing 4 TAs for that level system, which now, because our numbers are up over 30 per classroom, we're looking at putting a TA, spreading those TAs out amongst the classrooms. Just depends on how the kids are that week. They may be in 8th grade one day and they may be in 7th grade one day. So we only have 4, and as we know, there's 6 classrooms going on at any given time between middle school and high school. So it's gonna be our problem classes that are gonna get that extra hand, and hopefully that'll help cut down on some of the behavior when you guys have your back turned and the kids are off task and playing around. That'll give us an extra set of eyes to help us with that situation. And again, with the help of the counselors and the new behavior specialist position, which will start in the next few weeks, I believe. Okay, and those are some of the suggestions I have. One of the main things that I'm not sure that's going to happen this year, I don't really see it happening this year, is the implementation of a new SEL curriculum, social emotional learning curriculum. Basically, you guys now, every kid goes to their core classes twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Basically, what this curriculum would do, since they're here for behavior, we figured implementing this SEL would help, you know, maybe teach, not just teaching education and things of that matter, but also social skills. So basically what this SEL program would set out to do is your afternoon classes. So if you have English and you're doing it in the morning, and then in the afternoons, you're going to be doing the SEL curriculum. It's a computer-based curriculum from what I understand. I don't know much about it. We haven't heard much about it. We're slowly getting some information about it, but it's a computer-based program. Everybody will be trained on it. That way, you're not going in this blindly. Everyone's going to get trained. But it's computer-based, and basically, we haven't decided yet if we're going to break the kids into groups depending on what they were sent to us for, or if we're just going to keep it grade level. So if we're going to have 6th grade, or if we're going to have kids that need anger management training, if that's what they're going to be working on. We're not sure how we're going to break those apart yet. There's upsides and downsides to both. I mean, if they're here for whatever, if they're in the class for whatever got them sent here, you know, that's perfect. But if we're having to switch classes and move them, we all know how that goes in the hallways, and never fails that something typically happens. So you know how it is on this campus, the less movement we have from the kids, the better. So that's going to be something that Mr. Johnson, Mr. Woodard, and central office are going to have to discuss and try to figure out what the best means of doing this are and how to go about doing it. And once we know more about the curriculum and how it's set up and everything, I think we can make those decisions a whole lot easier. But it's not going to, you know, you're going to have some work to do. It's not going to, don't start freaking out. You're not going to be overwhelmed with having to learn a new thing. It's computer-based. From what we understand, it'll take you step by step through it. Now, it's going to help if you look through it before you get to it, just like you do your lesson plans. You may have to look through it, but you're not going to have to plan anything. Everything's going to be planned for you. You're just going to be go over and monitoring the kids and doing certain activities possibly with the kids as those times come. So, that being said, I think it'll be a good addition to the school. School culture is huge. I mean, when our numbers get big and the teachers get frustrated, and we all have, the kids know that, and they're going to feed off of it, and they start acting up. We see it weekly. I mean, you'll be doing good, and then something happens. I mean, with these students. And my PD this morning I had to go to talked about how the students feed off of your energy. So if you're having a bad day and you're kind of taking it out on them not knowingly, then you're going to get the same in return. And that goes back to Mr. Johnson preaches this all the time, relationships with these students. Oh, and we've heard we only have them 30 days. You can't have a relationship. You can have a relationship. Some of these kids wake up in the morning wanting to be here because their home life is so bad. A simple hello, just a smile can go a long way with these kids. So we have to remember that when we're working with these kids. Yes, they can be frustrating, and they probably feel the same about us, but we're here to make sure they're getting the education they deserve, regardless of what they're here for. So it's our job to get a smile on our face and give these kids what they need. So relationships, remember that, guys. I mean, I preach on that all the time, and so does Mr. Johnson. If we can build a good, meaningful relationship with these students, it'll go a long ways. I mean, to me, that's the biggest thing, especially with the types of kids we work with, is a relationship. And if we can build that relationship, you know, they're going to do things that they wouldn't do for their teachers on their home campus. And hopefully we can make it a meaningful relationship, enough so that when they go back to their home campus, they can think about the things we've done and the things we've taught them while they were here, and hopefully we don't see them again. I mean, I always tell the kids, I like you, I'm glad you're leaving, I hope I don't ever see you again. The only time I want to see you is when you're bringing back that graduation invitation and you're out of here for good. So remember, guys, relationships are huge. For you guys that were freaking out, central office wasn't here to, try to get anyone in trouble. They were just trying to see what they can do to help us with the school culture, because they know our numbers are huge. And then with the addition of that SEL, it's going to help, hopefully, with the number of suspensions, and we can get these kids done and out of here and back to their home campus and be successful. So, if you guys have any questions, Mr. Johnson asked me to direct those to him, and that's all I have for you right now. Thank you.